Okay, so this is the point where I tell on myself a little bit more. I'm going to be completely honest throughout this entire thing, by the way. I ended up divorcing my husband of 13 years and moving back home with my mother and father with my children. And then they ended up buying a rental home and moving my children and I into it, but I was expected to pay the bills. Okay. So there is where I began drinking, and it was quite heavy for a period of maybe 3 months. I was depressed. These downfalls in my life kept happening. I had felt since childhood that I was never worthy or good enough. And once again, I'm going, and not once again, but once again, it's proving itself to me because I'm going through a divorce of the man that I thought I was in love with for 13 years. And now I'm a single parent who is having to face life, financing it on my own. And I have 4 children and I have to work, and I'm just not emotionally fit. And I proceeded to drink. That was what I grew up learning to do. That's what I did as a youth, and that's what I returned to doing. And this ended up causing my mother and father to take custody of my children. And so they ended up taking me to court. I went to work one evening. I worked as a bartender. I went to work one evening, and I noticed that they hadn't returned my children to me the next morning. I called to find out when they would be returning my children to me, and I was informed that it was a matter of the courts and that I would have to show up for court in order to talk to them about when I would get to see my children again. And so I fought for the next 5 years to gain back custody of my children, and eventually did get them back, and should have got them back within a year and a half, but there were other stipulations that were placed within the court system. Even though I had already met all of the expectations, I had started seeing a man that where my son, my oldest son, and his daughter had at one point liked each other, and they were teenagers. And my mother made mention that she didn't feel like it was beneficial for me to gain back custody of my children while being in a relationship with him. So, yeah, I didn't get custody of my children after a year and a half. I had to fight for 5 to get them.